Hello, I'm Lenny McGill with the Glock Store Performance and Custom Shop located here in San Diego, California. And you know, my job is like a dream come true because I get exposed to all kinds of cool things and great people and exciting places. And one of the things today that I want to show you is off the charts in cool factor. It's been around for many years, but just recently they have introduced a version that is now legal to own without any paperwork or licenses or fees to the government. It's the Roni device, and here it is sitting in front of me. The Roni is designed to accept a Glock handgun and basically turn it into a carbine. In years past, they would have called this a short-barreled rifle, which is subject to some limitations and ownership, as well as fees and permits and licenses and all kinds of things with the government. But what they have done recently is develop a 16-inch barrel for the Roni that allows you, as a regular civilian, to use this device and have a lot of fun shooting it because it reduces recoil, it increases stability, it increases accuracy. It's really a fun play toy, basically, you know, in a sense. You know, it's fun to have. It's really a fun device that allows you to shoot better and really enjoy your gun better because it's a 9mm carbine. So here's what you get in the package. You get the Roni skeleton, should I say, okay? And there it is right there, and we'll talk more about that. You also get the charging handle that goes on your Glock, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And of course, we talked about the 9mm 16-inch barrel, available in 9mm right now. Maybe 40 caliber later, but this is what they have at this moment. The Glock is not included. This is a Glock 17 Gen 4. Of course, I'll check inside to make sure it's empty. My finger's off the trigger, keeping the gun pointing in a safe direction. Let the slide go, and now pull the trigger in a safe direction. And now we know we have an unloaded weapon, so I can kind of work with it here. There's no ammunition in this room, no magazines in this room. This is a kind of a sterile environment, and I suggest you do the same whenever you work on guns, whether you're cleaning them, installing them into the Roni device, or whatever you're doing. Always keep those the separation of church and state. You know, the ammunition's in one place, guns in another, because that way you can't accidentally load and go bang, and that's where most accidents happen. People say, I didn't know it was loaded. Well, here we have no chance to load the gun. All right, got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and disassemble this Glock so I can get the 16-inch barrel installed. Same procedure as usual. Going to go ahead and wrap my hand up around the top, and I'm going to pull back just a little bit, about a 1/4 inch or so, and then I'm going to reach up here on the slide lock lever, okay, on both sides, slide lock, and it's also referred to as a takedown lever, and pull down, keeping them pulled down, let the slide go, holding on to the slide so it doesn't slip off, push it forward. Now I can reach up and grab hold of the slide, and off it comes. That's that simple, and that's what's great about a Glock. This is the lower or frame. We'll put that aside. This is the upper or slide, and this is the guide rod. We're gonna go ahead and remove the guide rod just by depressing the spring a little bit. Out it comes, and here comes the factory 4.5-inch barrel. And that's basically field stripping the Glock for cleaning and regular maintenance. Now to reassemble with the 16-inch barrel, we're going to drop it in and slide it in just ever so slightly and gently, and get it to nestle into place. Hold it down with my thumb there, put our guide rod back in, and we'll get this thing set up. Now there it is as an upper with the 16-inch barrel. And they've engineered this so that it actually does work. Remember, the Glock has an articulating barrel. When the bullet goes off, the slide comes back and forces the barrel down, so the barrel does tilt back and forth a little bit. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but it does have some movement. And then it comes back up when it loads another shot. So we're going to put the slide on the same exact way as we would whether the barrel was the normal length or the 16-inch barrel. I'm just going to go ahead and line the rails up. Make sure they're on both sides here. And then get it seated and then rack the slide. Now the slide lock will capture the slide and pull the trigger in a safe direction. So there it is. Okay, there's our 16-inch barreled Glock. And it will shoot just like this too. It's kind of funny looking, but it does work, okay? So that's important to keep in mind. I'm going to put that aside for a second now, and we're going to look at this Roni device as it comes to you. The device is kind of neat because it has a couple features that are really cool. It has a drop-down little hand rail there, hand guard. It does have Picatinny rails on the surfaces, so you could hang a light, put a red dot optic up here, lasers, whatever, even down here below. This guy will come back out. This is the foregrip, or it has 2 positions, I believe, yeah. So just push the button and pull it down. There are 2 screws that can be operated with a quarter or a screwdriver. But I've got them out right now just to speed things up. But when we assemble this, we're going to go ahead and tighten those down. Okay. There are also 2 push pins that are going to be required to be removed for the assembly of this part. And you'll see them right here on the opposite side. Here's one pin, and the other pin is sitting right up here. The procedure they require is to go ahead and extend the buttstock first. So that is done by pushing the button in the very back. Okay, it's spring-loaded, and pull, just like that. Pretty simple. You will note, by the way, that there is a magazine holder right here in the back. You can actually store another magazine into this guy here. So it kind of looks like that, right? So here, I'll show you a better view from the bottom here. It will accept and hold a magazine there. It can be a shoulder-fired gun. That's what's really cool about it. And we're going to show you all that a little bit later. Right now, I would go ahead and push the push pins through with my fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my thumb. Come back on the other side and actually just pick these guys straight up and really pull them up basically all the way until they're almost out. And here we go again. And you'll notice there's a single point sling here. You know, if we were to want to use that. Okay. All right, they're all the way up. Now, the next step, because I've removed these pins, that will allow me to slide a portion or a piece of this back. So, pins all the way up. I can go ahead and grasp this and just slide it back, just like so. See that? So this is moving, and you're going to notice how there's a hinge down here on this side. See that hinge? So you're kind of getting the idea that this is going to open up. And now that I've got this pin all the way up, I can go ahead and grasp hold of this and pull that forward too. All right, I hope you got that. So there's the 2 things you have to do to open this up. It's basically, it closes like that and captures itself, or we open it up, and now I can go in here and from the bottom just lift up, and there is the clamshell we talked about. All right. So maybe hard to see for you right now, but you're going to notice that it kind of looks like the gun will fit in there. There's a spot for it. It's designed to. I do want you to notice this slot right here. This slot is used for the charging handle, and this is the 3rd piece you get with the Roni kit, and it basically slips on top of the rear serrations of the slide. So I'm going to just line those guys up, get this seated as much as I can, and there you go. That's it. So this will allow me to charge the gun when it's sitting inside this device. All right, I believe that's correct. So, again, now, we take this entire unit and we slide it into the Roni. And knowing that I've got my charging handle right there, that's going to stick out that window. That's kind of my guide point. I know that that's where I want to end up. Now, it's a little bit tight. I'm surprised it's a little bit tight, but every time I've done this, I have to kind of pull this slide up out of the way, or this piece of plastic out of the way of the frame. And, you know, I haven't been able to come up with a better way except just to kind of bend it away, and that just seems to be the way it works. So there it goes, just like that, kind of just got it set up, and then we're going to go ahead and see that the trigger guard is going to rest in an area that is fairly molded, should I say. So let me show you here how it looks. So there we should have some good light on there. There's basically what I was trying to match up. So that's it, and you'll see how the charging handle sits there. And I'm going to go ahead now and bring this guy straight up here like so, and close it. And you'll notice that that's basically the installation process. And then I'm going to go ahead and close the rear and push my pins down. And now take my screwdriver, as I mentioned, and I'm going to tighten these screws down right here. Okay, so I've got 2 screws to tighten. Fairly simple. This is kind of a, the final step to get it together. When you get this piece, it's typically, these are already tightened down. And all this does is, really just keep everything locked into place when you're firing. Okay. So there it is. That is the installation procedure. A couple things to note here. There is a manual safety over and above the trigger itself, so you can't really access the trigger. So we'll cock the trigger with the cocking handle, and you'll see that the trigger is somewhat guarded by this manual safety. Drop that down, and now I have access to the trigger. Bring it back up, and the trigger is blocked, and on both sides. So whether you're right or left-handed, that's kind of how that works. So all that being said, this is basically the assembly procedure. I'm going to go ahead and collapse the slide a little bit, and we'll just kind of look at this and see. Here's how you would operate this guy. You can put basically any sights up here you want, and dial the sights into the point of impact. I think I'll have my gunsmiths throw up an RMR on here before we actually go to the range and test this. But that's the situation with this. It's an easy in, easy out. It works right now with Glock Gen 3s, Gen 2s, Gen 1s, Gen 4s. 17 is the style because of the barrel length and all that. So it's working with a Glock 17 right now. I believe they have other ones in mind, but at this time it's really like 9mm only. What's really cool about this is it shoots Glock magazines. It's got the same Glock grip. It's got a longer, platform, so it's going to be more stable, less recoil, certainly, hardly any recoil. And once you dial into it, it's really quite an awesome piece. So with that said, this is a lot of fun to shoot, and we're going to take it to our range right now and demonstrate it, because the goal here is to see, does it actually feature and function as advertised. And I've already shot it once just for testing, but I'm going to shoot it again because I was thinking last night, well, I hope this thing actually continues to function with that big 16-inch barrel. So let's go to the range and see how it goes. All right, we're now inside of our indoor combat range here in San Diego, and we do something different here. We don't shoot down lanes. We shoot in a combat environment, in a room that's the size of a very, very large living room. It's like 30 by 35. We've got multiple targets we shoot at, and we can shoot in multiple directions. And the goal is here that we train for self-defense. Shooting down a lane is kind of boring and kind of bad habits, because all you're doing is go bang, bang, bang. And if you shoot too fast, the guys will tell you, hey, slow down a little bit, you're scaring everybody. So we feel that for self-defense, you need to learn how to shoot fast and aggressively, and that's what we can do in these combat rooms. Now, here's our Roni. You can see that I've got it basically ready to go. I mounted an RMR sight on it so that we have some reference point, and we kind of sighted it in a little bit, but it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. It's going to work for what we've got here. This is kind of a really, you can use this as a point and shoot weapon, or you can actually mount it up and actually see that sight. So all that being said, I have a standard 17-round magazine right here that I told you it would hold there. See, this little clip actually locks into the notch in the magazine, so it doesn't come out unless you actually depress that. All right. But instead of using that, I thought, well, what the heck? We might as well break it all out. If we got a gun like this, we want to use our Big Stick 33-rounder, because this is where the fun happens. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll load this guy up. We'll get our eyes and ears on. We'll turn the air on, and we'll just shoot and have some fun. Okay, here we go. We are going to load up our Roni. Use the charging handle out here on the side. And now it's ready to rock and roll. Let's see where this thing prints out real quick here. Oh, not bad, huh? Pretty impressive and pretty fun. You can see, seems to be holding a nice little grip for us. That's really what we're looking for self-defense accuracy. Center of mass with the Roni. you know, again, I've already shot this couple magazines through, not had any problems, no problems here today. This thing is a winner. And if you want one of these, get on our website or give us a call. I'm Lenny McGill. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in San Diego sometime.